they're not prepared for what's coming. They are not prepared for this level of change, and they really aren't prepared for the rate of change.
And it isn't just like an arc like that. It's lots of S-curves all at once, all around the world, where every single company is now thinking, what's my generative AI strategy?
Yes.
For when it pops off.
Correct.
And every government's thinking, how can I stay competitive? And this is why I said, like, it's a race condition where everyone is trying to do the same thing or similar things, and you can't be left behind. You can't not participate. And it's been a very long time since we've seen that. And there's a world before this technology and a world after this technology. Like, I don't think, again, you know, I've got 2 kids. What does the world look like in 5 years, let alone 10 years? I have no idea. And I'm in the middle of this because it's just impossible to see. The smartest people that I know, they used to be able to see years in advance. They can't see more than a year or 2. And this sounds, again, very apocalyptic, but then, like I said, we're going to get to the good bit in a second. In every crisis, there is opportunity. Our society is broken as it stands already. And I think this is a chance to reshape it for the better and solve a lot of the biggest problems that we've been facing because of our slow, dumb AIs. Because of our organizations and institutions that we are all frustrated with. And I think this is a big upgrade from it. The example I had to give is there's the amazing poem by Ginsberg, Howl, about Moloch, this Carthaginian demon of disorder. I think where that came in was text, because we had to essentialize everything down and put people into boxes, because we couldn't have systems to understand the context. You can't have personalized education or personalized healthcare, because you couldn't scale humans. There weren't enough talented humans until now. And so I think that is the incredibly dangerous part, because all of a sudden, from economic pressures, you flood the market. And it's the incredibly motivating part, whereby there's a shortage of talent for everything that's important, and there isn't anymore. But then the nature of talent for jobs and things will transform. And I think the economic abundance that's created on that, that's the flip side of this, as well as the ability to fix our broken systems.
All right, I'm going to give you my timeline. I think the next year is going to be a lot of fun for people that embrace it. It'll be a period of time where some people can ignore it and they probably won't really notice. They won't realize how fast things are changing. Although, follow me on Twitter. I post routinely like, hey, here's something I didn't think that would happen for 18 months. And we're now 45 days later, we're using it. Things are really, really moving faster. But for the next year, I think people will be able to ignore it and they won't realize that it's growing with such steam. And then year 2 to 6, I think that there's going to be pockets of extreme suffering. And I think deaths of despair are going to skyrocket. Mm-hmm. And I hope it's not the world is burning riots kind of thing. It'll probably be more quiet and insidious than that. But I really think that we're going to lose people on the upper and lower ends. I think people that are old are going to just completely check out and say, I can't keep up. I'm too old. I don't want to learn this new stuff. I think people that are young, it's the only thing they know is change so fast that they can't see around the corner. I think that will be absolutely terrifying to them. And they're going to retreat into the levels of entertainment, sex bots, AI friends that are more loving and kind than their other friends, and it will be a collapsing inward. Now, as somebody who is prone to collapsing inward, the biggest thing that's held me back as an entrepreneur is that I like being alone with my own thoughts. Yeah. And that, if you then layer anxiety on top of that, and then you give me an AI that's actually better to me than anybody in my real life has ever been, and then you give me maybe some drugs, I will truly collapse in under my own weight. Not me personally, I have defenses, but I'm saying like that personality type is really going to struggle. So I think right there, you're going to lose a generation, if I may be so bold, on the upper and lower ends. Then either on the 10 to 20 year time horizon, and I leave it that long because, look, any prediction that you make with a timeline is guaranteed to be wrong. So I'll try to give myself at least a little bit of buffer. And I know that everything I'm saying probably directionally correct, timeline probably way off. Yeah. But 10 to 20 years, my rough estimate, that's where we're either in Terminator and we're running from radioactive rubble to radioactive rubble fighting the machines, or it really is a utopia. And I think that there is a real shot that we get to the closest things that humans are going to get to a utopia where things are so plentiful.
Yeah.
Everything we want is available. We reorient our human psyche not to acquisition, but rather emotional contribution. And we'll paint that picture more as we go down. But that's sort of my rough thing.
Yeah. I think these are crazy timelines. Like, not because I disagree with them, because the fact is that they are crazy. You have a year of incubation, then you have contagion, and then you've got a Stark thing. I don't think we'll be chased by robots.